Well, let me just say that, I'm kind of surprised that we're going through this drill again. If I remember correctly, I think it was 1:30 in the morning in a completely hushed Senate chamber back in early August or late July that John McCain strode into the Senate chamber and walked up to the reading clerk and said no. And as a result, the repeal and replace of the Affordable Care Act was over. I thought it was done. And we had saved health care for over 30 million people. But lo and behold, it came up again in September. Again, an attempt to repeal and replace a different version. And finally, instead of 3 Republican senators voting no, they found that it was going to be more like 10 Republican senators that wouldn't vote for the package of a repeal and replace, and therefore they didn't even bring up the bill for a vote. And here we are again. And it's the same thing. We're going to take the economic underpinning out of it that's going to cause 13 million people, as stated by the authorities, 13 million people are going to lose their coverage, and premiums are going to go up. What did we hear? What did CBO say? 10% a year. So let's see. Now, the first year premiums go up 10% according to the base. Now it comes around to the next year. Premiums go up another 10%. I'm just a country boy, but I understand that if you add that up over 10 years, it's something in addition to 10% all the way up to 100%, that premiums are going to go up depending on the base.
Take these away.
And we want to go through this drill again on what has been stated over and over, that the American people want to have health care for those people that in the past have not been able to purchase health care or to have health care provided. And this is going to take place when everybody on this committee, in fact, wants to reform the tax code, and yet this is the avenue to get additional revenue in order to cut out the Affordable Care Act. I'm really surprised. So instead of working in a bipartisan fashion, which this committee used to be, we're taking more of the same old, same old. I thought that once the Affordable Care Act was saved in early August, I thought we were going to see the sprouting of blossoms of bipartisanship, and indeed, we have. We saw those early efforts with Lamar Alexander and Patty Murray, and then they were squelched in September, and lo and behold, Lamar and Patty are meeting as we speak with about 20 bipartisan senators sponsoring the stabilizing of the current law, the Affordable Care Act, 20 sponsoring that legislation. And here we go again. Under the guise of tax reform, I thought that that issue was behind us, and yet here we have it coming back. And so in my remaining 17 seconds, Mr. Chairman, I think that your provision to generate $338 billion to help pay for corporate tax cuts. When the light of day is shined on this and people recognize what's happening, they're not going to like it one bit.